Now, sports, sponsored by Taco John's.
Hi again, everyone. We are live from Memorial Stadium where Bellevue West just won the Class A state championship. How about that, fellas? Yeah! Okay. With me is Coach Michael Huffman, and Coach, this team ranks now as one of the greatest of all time with a 35-0 win over Westside.
Yeah, what an unbelievable collection of skilled kids and linemen, and that's what you got to have to be in that consideration. And honestly, Ross, it was one of our goals. We talk about it all the time, that we didn't want to be just the best team in Bellevue West. We wanted to be considered among the elite, and that's what we challenged them tonight. We're a great football team, but we wanted to be elite. And with that showing tonight, I hope we get into the conversation.
Great win tonight. Let's take a look at the highlights of this 35-0 victory. Bellevue West came into Memorial Stadium looking to complete an undefeated season. The Thunderbirds scored on their opening possession of the game. Keegan Johnson took the shovel pass and ran 49 yards for the touchdown. Bellevue West led 6-0. Later in the first quarter, Bellevue West added another touchdown on this 15-yard run up the middle by Jay Ducker. The Thunderbirds now led 12-0. Then, in the second quarter, Bellevue West drove 61 yards and capped it off with a run up the middle by Ducker for a touchdown. The Thunderbirds added a 2-point conversion on this pass from Nate Glantz to Micah Riley. Bellevue West now led 20-0. Then, with a few minutes left in the first half, Keegan Johnson got the ball off a reverse, and he raced 50 yards for his second touchdown of the game. The Thunderbirds rushed for 271 yards in the first half. Bellevue West added another 2-point conversion to go up 28-0 at halftime. In the fourth quarter, Ducker added his third touchdown of the game. The final score was Bellevue West 35 and Westside 0. That was the second state champion in the past 4 years for the Thunderbirds. They finished with a perfect record of 13-0. Westside ended the season with a 10-3 record. We are back at Memorial Stadium, and with me is Jay Ducker, the All-State running back, finished with 110 touchdowns, the most in Class A. Jay, what can you say about this career you had?
It's just been a pleasure being a T-Bird for 4 years, and I think it really just ended off with this little championship. Really ended off my career, and I couldn't have done without my team.
What can you say about this season? This team's going to be thought of as one of the greatest teams of all time with a 13-0 record, and you dominated every game.
Only I can really say is we just won 35-0, and our defense did crazy, and I just really did good.
All right. Well, congratulations to Bellevue West. The Thunderbirds are the Class A state champions. Let's hear it, fellas. We'll send it back to you in Omaha.
They're all wearing their gold medals there, too.
They look so excited. Congratulations.
Now, 6 News Sports.
Hi again, everyone. Big night in high school basketball. Tickets to the state tournament were on the line tonight with the district finals. And what a game between Millard North and Westside. The gym was packed at Westside for this district final. The Mustangs, they got a big game from Hunter Salas. He drives through the lane for the basket. Millard North led by 3. Then Westside came back and answered with a triple from Chase Thompson, the school's all-time leading scorer. The game was tied at 51-all. Then in the final seconds, Millard North's Brett Potter drove down the middle for the basket. The Mustangs led by 2 with just 1.6 seconds left on the clock. But Westside had a chance for one last shot. They throw the ball to midcourt and get the ball to Carl Brown, and he puts up a 3-pointer. And watch it, it rolls in for the game winner. How about that? Westside beats Millard North 54-53 on a buzzer beater. The Warriors are headed to the state tournament next week. After the game, Brown talked about his miracle shot to win it.
I mean, I had a bad shooting night all night. Coaches kept telling me, keep shooting. I'm going to get it at the end. The game always come back to me. Simon's always telling me the game always come back to me at the end. So don't quit. And that's what I did. That last shot, I knew it was going in. We kind of faked it, the defense out, threw it to the middle, kind of and just ran to the corners. That's my favorite spot. So I went and knocked it down. Shoot that shot a million times.
What a shot. Meanwhile, at Omaha Central, the Eagles hosted Lincoln High in the district finals. The leading scorer in the state, Don Chanji, had another big game. He drives to the basket to give Central the lead. Central pulled away in the final minute. Check out this long pass to Jason Page for the basket, and the Eagles held on to win it. The final score was Central 87 and Lincoln High 59. The Eagles are headed back to state next week with a 20-5 record. What a shot. I was in the gym and I was just like, there's no way. And then it just kind of rolls in and drops.
One second
crazy.
left. You better send that out. That would be national, I think. That would be viral.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice shot. Good job.
Congratulations. And Rusty, we'll have your final forecast as soon as we come back.
Now, 6 News Sports.
Hi again, everyone. We are live from TD Ameritrade Park. The national champion of the College World Series is Vanderbilt. The Commodores broke out to an early lead and went on to beat Michigan by the score of 8-2. Let's take a look at the highlights of this game. Vanderbilt coach Tim Corbin had his team ready in the championship game. In the second inning, Vandy's Pat DeMarco sent this ball to left field, and it goes out for a solo homer. That was his 7th home run of the year. The game was tied at 1-all. Then in the third inning, Vandy's Steven Scott ripped a single up the middle. That drove in Ethan Paul and Philip Clark. The Commodores opened up a 4-1 lead. Then in the fourth inning, Vandy's J.J. Blade hit another single to center field. Ty Duvall crossed the plate. The Commodores now led 6-1. Vandy added 2 more runs to win it. The final score was Vanderbilt 8 and Michigan 2. The Commodores won their second national championship at the College World Series. It was also their second title in 6 years. After the game, the Commodores pitcher Kumar Rocker talked about winning the title and the MVP award. Well, congratulations. You're the College World Series champion and the most outstanding player. What does that award mean to you?
It means a lot. It means a lot to be part of this team. It means a lot to be part of this program, these fans. It's amazing.
Well, how would you describe this College World Series for yourself?
It was expected. It was expected out of this team. It was expected of us when we were training in the fall.
Tell me about your 2 starts on the mound. What was so special about TD Ameritrade Park when you were here?
Right. Just pitching for your team in general and giving them a chance to win was amazing.
The people that have won the most outstanding player awards are stars in the Major League Baseball. Just tell me the meaning of that award and how it looks to the future.
I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing to be part of that company, and I hope to fulfill it.
Okay. What about next year? You're only a freshman coming back as a sophomore. Can you repeat?
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of ball to play here at Commodore Nation, baby.
All right. Congratulations, Kumar, on winning the College World Series.
Sports director Ross Jernstrom and Dave Weber were at the game today, and they have a look at the amazing finish.
Hello from Memorial Stadium. I'm Ross Jernstrom along with Dave Weber. What a finish here at Memorial Stadium. Nebraska wins in the final seconds of the game, 13-10 over Northwestern. Dave, we haven't seen many of these like this.
It was a dramatic finish. It could have been traumatic too, I'm afraid, if they hadn't won that game, but they did. So more power to them. That's great.
It was a great comeback by the Huskers after being tied there 10-all in the fourth quarter. They come back and win it. Coach Frost talked about the finish.
I called him a name and said, go make it. And sometimes levity's better, and I'm 44 years old. I could have jumped as high as he kicked that, but it got through. I think we were due a break somewhere. I'm happy for him. He made 2 out of 3, and that was enough.
The Huskers got off to a great start in the first quarter with Wandell Robinson. The freshman ran for a 42-yard touchdown. Dave, this freshman is something else.
I tell you, I don't know if we'd have won that game without Wandell Robinson. I really, really don't know.
And Robinson and Coach Frost talked about his play in the game today.
I came in wanting to make plays just like this. I came in wanting to have a big impact like this in a big game like this. So just doing whatever I can to help our team win is all I want to do.
He's going to be a weapon for us around here for a long time. We need some other guys to step up and be weapons.
On the final play of the third quarter, quarterback Adrian Martinez got injured on the play and had to leave. But Noah Vedral, the backup, came in, and what a game the Nebraska native played.
He got his chance, and he played a great fourth quarter and was instrumental in the victory.
Coach Frost and Coach Perdue do a really good job with the quarterbacks as a whole. I mean, even Luke's ready to go at a moment's notice. So they do a really good job preparing us, and I did my best this week to be locked in and know the scouting report, all that stuff. And as the game goes, sometimes it's an advantage as a backup. I get to watch that stuff without having to make the tough decisions that Adrian did, and he played a hell of a game. So I got to say thank you to him for keeping us in that ball game and giving us a chance.
The Huskers came back in the final minutes. Lamar Jackson came up with a big interception, and that set off a series of events for the Huskers.
I was worried Northwestern was going to march down the field a little bit and maybe a long field goal, but kick a field goal to win it. Lamar Jackson comes up with a great interception. Vedral hits Wandale Robinson for a huge first down to the 14, 15-yard line, and they get it down to the 7 and kick a field goal to win it in the final seconds of the game.
And Coach Frost talked about that wild finish.
Long pass down the sideline to Wandale that got us in field goal range was something that wasn't even on the call sheet. So we were just kind of trying to adjust and get him in something that we thought worked based on the way they were rotating on that motion.
Nebraska's place-kicking situation has been a mystery about every week, but Lane McCallum came in, the sophomore, kicks the winning field goal from 25 yards out in the final seconds.
You know, he doinked one off the upright, and I felt so bad for him, and then he comes in with 3 seconds left and kicks that field goal right down. I was standing right underneath the goalpost, right down the middle to win the ball game.
And McCallum talked about his winning field goal.
It's definitely been a crazy journey. God throws you in every situation that he wants you to, and it's his plan, not yours. And I think that's what exactly showed in this past couple months.
Nebraska's 13-10 victory still keeps Nebraska in that Big Ten West Division race, and Dave, they're still in it.
I know, but can my heart take it? I don't know.
That's the big question. Well, the Huskers head to Minnesota next week on Saturday night. Kickoff is at 6:30. For Dave Weber, I'm Ross Jernstrom from Memorial Stadium.
Now, sports, sponsored by Taco John's.
Hi again, everyone. We are live from Memorial Stadium for tonight's Class A State Football Championship. Westside faces Bellevue West for the Class A state title. Right now, it is snowing at Memorial Stadium. Temperature is in the low 30s, but it feels like it's in the 20s. The wind is about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It is a winter wonderland here in Lincoln. This championship game features 2 of the best players in the state. One is already a Husker recruit, and the other one could be in the future. One of the key matchups in the Class A championship game tonight is between Nebraska recruit wide receiver Xavier Betts of Bellevue West and Westside defensive back Avante Dickerson, who is being recruited by several Power 5 schools, including the Huskers. Both players are looking forward to the matchup on Tuesday night.
He's a good friend of mine, but you know what? We're enemies, opponent. I'm just going to play my game. He's going to play his game, and we'll see the result of it. He's a terrific player. D1, of course. He has the speed. He has the route running. He has everything. I love competition. If I'm playing someone that's good, someone that's bad, no matter what, I'm just going to take them like it's my last game ever.
I don't know much to say about it now just because I haven't played him in a couple years, but I know it's going to be a good matchup and it should be a good game. So making it this year, our senior year, it means a lot, especially for the 7 of us that were there freshman year. We're finishing our career the way we started it.
Betts is 6'3" and 195 pounds. He leads the Thunderbirds with 60 receptions for over 1,100 yards and 17 touchdowns this season. Dickerson is quick and fast with 4 interceptions this season. Both head coaches know how talented both players are in this game.
It was really interesting. We were looking at the 2017 game, the famous 73-62 game, but they faced off then. Vontae was a freshman, Xavier was a sophomore. They were both so little, but both so fast, and they both had some good plays against each other. So it's kind of neat that here we are a couple years later. We're going to face off in the biggest game of the year, but we're going to go after him. Vontae is extremely talented, but very aggressive, so we're going to try to use that against him.
Well, they went against each other a little bit on 7-on-7 in the summer, so it's been fun to watch, but they're two great athletes. It's great to see two athletes of that caliber from the state of Nebraska going at it in the state championship game. You couldn't ask for a better environment and a better time.
In the Class C1 final today, Wahoo beat Pierce 38-0 to win their first state football championship. And in Class C2, Oakland Craig beat Sutton 19-0. Again, that Class A game starts at 7:15 tonight. We'll have all the highlights and live post-game reaction tonight at 10 o'clock, so stay with us. I'm going to send it back to you guys in that warm studio back in Omaha.
All right, Ross is in his element this evening.
He is.
Well, one of the traditions here at the College World Series is the organ music, and there's been only one organist since this ballpark opened 8 years ago. Ever since the College World Series moved to TD Ameritrade Park in 2011, Jerry Pollock has been behind the keyboard playing organ music at the ballpark. The 78-year-old from Lincoln looks forward to the series every year.
Oh, the best part is the camaraderie with the kids and learning all about the teams that come in here, their background, and watching them progress and move ahead.
Jerry started playing the organ at the age of 23 when he lived in Chicago and played at Comiskey Park.
The organ music has been a part of baseball for a long time. I actually played about 50 years ago. I played a couple of gigs at Sox Park in Chicago when there was no recorded music at all. It was totally organ music.
Every game, the ESPN cameras focus on Jerry for the seventh inning stretch when he plays the traditional favorite, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Well, it's kind of a ego booster to be up there on the big screen and have people recognize you as you walk through the park or around the park, and it's kind of a big deal.
Brielle Haverman is a state champion who loves to swim. The freshman from Elkhorn High School lost her leg to cancer at the age of 4. Despite her disability, Brielle has found the ability to compete with one leg. Brielle's swimming has become an inspiration for her coach and fellow teammates at Elkhorn.
They just said it was inspirational. They never had a kid like me before, and that is cool.
It's just been good to see somebody that's willing to challenge themselves every day the same way that all of our athletes are doing, to try to make sure that they're better today than they were yesterday.
Last month at the Nebraska State Swim Meet, Brielle won the Special Olympic 50-yard freestyle. Brielle received a gold medal and a standing ovation from the fans at the Devaney Center. It was an emotional moment for Brielle's parents.
It was really overwhelming. I'm gonna cry. But it was really cool to see her coaches and her teammates cheering her on. So I think that summed up the season.
The crowd itself standing cheered for that, the Special Olympics teams over there. That was really nice,
Brielle hopes to defend her title in the future and bring hope to other swimmers with challenges like her.
My message is to just go out there and do your best, and no matter who tells you, oh, you can do that, just go out there and just show them wrong.
Russ, we'd like you to meet Jordan. Jordan's a special young man to us. He's going to be out here for some practices with us and be one of my assistant coaches with me, so I need all the help I can get.
Jordan Bertzel is a freshman student at Omaha North. The 15-year-old who has Down syndrome has a bubbling personality. He was the honorary captain for this year's Shrine Bowl and danced with the players. Jordan's mom says his dream was to be part of the North High football team.
You know, my husband and I, it really wasn't our decision. He has always wanted to be a Viking. He's always came to watch the games. He's always had a bond with Coach Martin.
We're going to just continue to have him chart plays and stuff like that, and keep track of our reps, and then we'll try to build on it from there. Maybe to the point that maybe on game night we'll have him keep track of some tackles for us. How's that sound? How's that sound? But
Coach Martin and his Vikings have dominated high school football in Nebraska with 5 trips to the state finals in the last 6 years and won 3 state titles. But Coach Martin knows there is more to football than championships.
We're proud of Jordan, and I can't believe he's already going to be a freshman in high school and how tall he's gotten. So he told me he'd like to be out there playing for us, right? But he said he's not quite fast enough, right?
Yes.
All right. If you haven't had your physical yet, come see me after practice. I don't want that on the TV, all right? Vikings on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Vikings! Come here and see me real quick.
Now, 6 News presents local sports highlights, features, and all of the heart-pounding action direct from your home team. This is Sunday Sports Overtime.
Good evening, I'm Ross Jernstrom, and welcome to Sunday Sports Overtime. Over the next half hour, we will look at some of the biggest local sports stories in the metro area. Coming up, the Creighton Prep baseball team defends its state title. Can the Junior Jays win 3 state titles in a row? And we go beyond the lines in Papillion, where a Monarch athlete helps another student every day.
Now, big sports from the area's primetime programs. Sponsored by Lusterstone.
Up first, the NCAA basketball tournament. Omaha was home this weekend to the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 games. What a matchup today between the number 1 seed Kansas and the number 2 seed Duke in the Midwest Regional Final. The Jayhawks won in overtime 85-81. For the first time since 2012, Kansas is headed to the Final Four. The number 1 seeded Jayhawks edged the number 2 seed Duke 85-81 in overtime. Kansas head coach Bill Self was thrilled to get his team to San Antonio.
I don't think I could be or we could be more excited or more proud than what we are right now. Not only going to San Antonio, but the way that we did it, beating an historic program, maybe the greatest college basketball coach of all time, and such a talented roster, and to do it in a way that we haven't done it all year long. We haven't beat anybody on the glass all year long. We win the rebounding battle by 15 or whatever today. So I couldn't be happier or more proud, and certainly very proud to be a part of that game. That was an epic game that one of the best ones, if not the best, that I've ever been a part of.
In the final minute of regulation, the Jayhawks trailed 72-69 when Svi Mikhailik knocked down this three-pointer with 26 seconds left to tie the game up and send it into overtime.
Everybody telling me keep shooting. DT, if the last one I missed wide open, DT said, man, just keep shooting the ball. And 2 next possessions, he passed me the ball. I was thinking about passing to a corner, but I think it went down, I just gapped it, so I just shot the ball and it went in.
The hero for Kansas in the extra period was Malik Newman. The sophomore scored all 13 of the Jayhawks' points. He finished with a game-high 32 points and was named the most outstanding player of the Midwest Regional.
It meant a lot. These guys, they've been here plenty of times, and like Coach always said at the beginning of the year, they've been knocking on the door the last 2 years. So, it just means everything to see these guys be happy going to San Antonio. And, this basically what we was playing for.
The Jayhawks had failed to get out of the Elite 8 as a number 1 seed each of the past 2 years. This time, the Jayhawks finally broke through to the Final Four.
It's just a great feeling for us, for the fans. Just everything that we've been through this year, all the ups and downs, and the boot camp and everything that we've been through. We do it for moments like this, and it's just special. Especially getting here this same game last 2 years and losing it. It's just getting over that hump, and it just feels unbelievable.
The Final Four will be this Saturday in San Antonio. Kansas will take on the Villanova Wildcats. Michigan will face Loyola of Chicago. The Ramblers are coached by former Creighton basketball player Porter Moser.
We're just lucky to be able to get a chance to try and go for the three-peat, try to get another good season under our belt. And for us, it's more like a responsibility.
And can they do it again? Creighton Prep tries to win their third state title in a row. But up next, we go beyond the lines in Papillion, where a star athlete helps another student to lunch every day.
Now, making a difference beyond the lines.
Welcome back to Sunday Sports Overtime. It is a unique friendship between two athletes, one headed to Nebraska to play baseball. The other will not allow her lack of vision to keep her from seeing the finish line on the track. Michael Snow goes beyond the lines in Papillion.
Caleb Fields.
Emily is also planning on attending Lincoln and will be going to school to become a teacher. So this friendship doesn't end after high school. Next on Sunday Sports Overtime, we go to the Diamond, where the Junior Jays of Creighton Prep are ready to defend their state title.
Now, here's this week's local MVP.
You are watching Sunday Sports Overtime. Despite the chilly weather, the high school baseball season has already started in the metro area. The #1 ranked team in the state is Creighton Prep. The Junior Jays are looking for their third Class A title in a row. This was the scene 1 year ago when Creighton Prep won their second consecutive state championship. The Junior Jays finished the season with a 23-12 record. Creighton Prep head coach Pat Mooney and the Junior Jays are ready to defend their state title and try to make it 3 in a row.
There's teams in the Metro that are really good this year. Lincoln Southwest is really good this year. So I don't know if the target's on us totally. There's some teams that can compete. I think we've got a pretty good nucleus of 11 seniors. 10 of them played with us last year, and we went a long way last summer, and they just have some experience, and they kind of know what's going on, and I think they can compete.
Oh, it's huge for us. I mean, we're just lucky to be able to get a chance to try and go for the three-peat, try to get another good season under our belt. And for us, it's more like a responsibility at this point, just to play well and play up to the expectations that have been set before us.
Creighton Prep is led by senior infielder Dylan Phillips. The Kansas State recruit batted .500 last season and had a key triple in the state championship game over Westside.
And then last year was a bunch of new guys that grew together over the course of the year. And then this year, we're a mix of half returners, half new guys. So it should be a fun year to try to get it again.
Creighton Prep is coming off an historic season in Legion baseball. Last August, the Junior Jays finished as the national runner-up in the American Legion World Series in Shelby, North Carolina. Creighton Prep ended the season with an amazing 58-7 record. The Junior Jays hope that success in the Legion tournament will carry over into this season.
Oh, it was huge. It was an amazing experience. It kind of validated all the work that we put in, and we knew that if we put that same kind of work in, we could have a chance at that same success. And for us, that was huge. That was huge.
It kind of just you had to play your best because everyone there deserved to be there, and every game was a tough game. And it's a great goal to have to get back there. It really helps you push yourself at the beginning of the year before the Legion season gets here to get better.
Just knowing how far they can get, how far they got, they're very proud of themselves on where they went. We're very blessed. We had a lot of things go our way. And I think just that, it's just some of the tension you might run into might be a little easier this year.
North Carolina. The Junior Jays are off to a strong start this season with a 4-1 record. Creighton Prep split a doubleheader with Grand Island over the weekend. Look for the Junior Jays to be at the state tournament in May at Werner Park. Coming up after the break on Sunday Sports Overtime, hear one athlete's journey back from a torn ACL to setting the scoring record at Bellevue University and this week's Road to Recovery. The team finished with a 19-13 record overall and made it to the NSAA semifinals before falling to Valley City State. That wraps up this week's edition of Sunday Sports Overtime. We will see you next week right here. From all of us at WOWT 6, good night.
WOWT 6 News is everywhere.